This is an example of generative example looping of this generative is an looping example this of generative looping is this an is example an example of generative looping Hello, and welcome to episode 143 of Prog Review. And today I'm talking about this here doozy, Brian Eno's Lux. But before I burble on, I'll hand over to Darren, who will give you a little look at the packaging, because we all love looking at the packaging, don't we? Just nod your head, Take it away, Darren.
Hello, and yes, Bleep returns. Indeed he does. No, I'm using Mr. Swissy to cut through the old gold lime green packing tape. Oh god, you can tell it's a trendy record company when they use lime green. Try not to lose a finger, Mr. Locke. Instead, just use brute force. That's it. I really must sharpen that knife. For those of you who cannot read, I am indeed opening Brian Eno's Lux. Oh yes, Lux. Deluxe and delightful. Here we go. Hey, got it out in the end. So, oh look, see, it's the first edition. It includes 4 exclusive prints. Postcards, I should imagine. It's not like I'm going to be able to frame them on the wall unless I put them in a doll's house or something. So let's cut our way in. Go on, Swissy, do your business. Hey, he's a cool dude. Let's slip it off. And so once more, another product has been spoilt, deflowered, or raped of its innocence. Written by Brian Eno, produced by Brian Eno, coffee made by Brian Eno, chocolate hobnobs brought in by Brian Eno. There's a little enneagram, I don't know, matrices of the thing. And there's some, This is what they call art. This is what Eno calls art. It's done by a computer programmer. They might as well got a 4-year-old child to just writhe in some paint. The same effect would have been rendered without the use of a very expensive computer. Or maybe a chimpanzee with feces. Same effect. And, oh look, blank sleeve. And here is the disc, again with more juvenile art. You can see Lux, Brian Eno. Well, it's a bit underwhelming. Not much more to say, really. It's a minimalist design for a minimalist ambient recording. And I'll hand you back to the big man. Take it away, big boy. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think you'll agree that was another informative moment with our good friend. Brian Eno, eh? Oh, Brian Eno. Brian Eno. See, what hasn't been said before about Brian Eno? It's all been said before. I'm in a bit of a pickle, a bit of a piccalilli, as it were. You see, some of you you probably don't like the ambient music. So if you're one of those folks, you might as well just toddle off now. But I'm one of these, pretentious folk who likes all the, the background music, the tinkly tinkly, the jangly jangly in the background. I quite enjoy it. Now, I think I've spoken about this before. I had my introduction to it via Terry Riley. Yeah, Rainbow and Curved Air. A snippet of which was used in Douglas Adams' radio show Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was used in one of the idents, and that's how I came to it, and that's how I came to Terry Riley, and then the whole Frippanino tape looping thing, and then Robert Fripp's soundscaping, digital looping, my own experiments in being a pretentious knob. I have an interest in ambient music, and so when this album came out, I thought, okay, well, this is going to be interesting. Well, is it interesting? Is ambient music interesting? It's like looking at a white wall and us saying, is that interesting? No, it's a white wall. It's functional, but it's a white wall. And ambient music, it's form and function. Highbrow stuff, Mr. Locke. Anyway, this music was originally commissioned for work as a work for the Great Gallery of the Palace of Veneria in Turin, Italy. Oh yes. But I think it was given its first preview at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. Music for airports. You see what he did there? Brian, he's so clever. That's why they call him One Brain. He's cleverer than us. Music for airports. And lux. It's a measurement of light. Oh yeah. Of luminescence. Luminous emittance even. Oh yeah. Luminous flux. Name my new prog band, I think. Luminous Flux. I showered her in luminous flux. Use that anywhere. So, my own experiences of Lux came when the Environmental Health came to shut my shop down because there wasn't enough light because my power had been cut off, thanks to the person crashing into my shop. I had rigging up and they said, there's not enough Lux in here. And I thought they were talking about soap powder. No, I'm just being silly. I knew what Lux was because I'd studied physics when I was a wee sprocket. And, Lux. So it's about light, and it is a very light and airy album. Oh yes, it's not like Neroli, which is a bit darker. Neroli. It's not like that other one. That other one he did. What's it called? I'm just scrolling through. I have to look at my own. I can't blooming find it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh God, I've been busted. What was that one he did in the 90s? Shoot Off Assembly. It's not like that. This is what you come here for, isn't it? No, this is light and airy. Oh yeah, and it's 70. I think it's 75 minutes, so it's a bit of a long one, and there are 4 pieces, roughly 22 minutes each, and they're all very, very much of a muchness. There's no real transgressions between them, and it's himself, and he's using the talents of Leo Abrahams. Must check him out. He's got a very good album out. Leo Abrahams out on Moog guitar. Now Moog guitar, very interesting instrument. It's like the infinite guitar, an instrument developed by Michael Brook that uses magnetics to vibrate the strings, but it's also got a synthetic accent to it. Via the Moog or Moog. You say Moog, I say Moog. But yeah, it's got you can shape the sound with Moog's synth circuitry, and you've also got Neil Catchpole on violins and violas. Now Neil Catchpole's been working with Eno from the time of U2. I think he even appeared on Michael Brook's album Cobalt Blue. So again, maybe he's used samples of Neil Catchpole from many years ago. We do not know, for Eno doesn't reveal anything, rather than the little matrices that he's done here of how all the different samples should fit together. because he's produced this, I would imagine, listening to it and processing it, using generative musical tools. He's had several loops running and at different lengths and allowed them to generate the album itself rather than to actually sit down and do any real playing. He still has to come up with the tones and the samples, of course. No, it's not just a matter of pressing a few buttons. This is the thing about, he's a man that shapes sound. It's all about tone. It's all about atmosphere. Not necessarily about notes. This is what interests me. It's about atmosphere and tone. I'm repeating myself again, aren't I? Yeah, you would tell me if I'm repeating myself. And it's about colour, vertical colour of sound. Now, there's a book for you to look out for. So yeah, it's all about colours. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I would, because I'm a wanker. Nothing new. There's nothing's going to blow your socks off. It's fairly standard fare, but it's very, very relaxing. And Eno did a little kind of online playback party last week on the 17th of November, where you could submit photographs, and they played them as a little mini show, and it lasted for 72 minutes. It was quite delightful. It was a very interactive experience, and I don't know if I did submit a picture, but I don't know if it got used. But yeah, it's an interesting. If you like Eno, if you like ambient, you're gonna like this. It's very relaxed. If you have trouble sleeping like I do, or you need an album on in the background to help you stimulate your creative process, this is the medicine you need. If you think this is a load of pretentious old wank, that's fair enough. It is. It probably is. Each to their own. You know my motto. But my opinion is, superior to all of yours. You do understand that, yes? In my kingdom, I am king. But yeah, like I said, it's interesting, but nothing really new. I don't think Eno. I'm going out on the line here. I don't think Eno's going to produce anything radical. I don't think he's going to take us to any far off, uncharted waters with his next projects. I think he's just going to carry on doing what Eno does, being Eno, and the mystique and the the cult of celebrity that he's created around himself, and rightly so. As a rating, again, how do you rate ambient music? Well, I really like that bit when the viola overlapped the Moog guitar, and then the synth bedding came up. How do you rate ambient music? Oh, God. Well, I liked it. But it's not revolutionary. It's worth purchasing if you're the fan of the genre. If you don't like it, obviously steer clear of it, because it's a load of old crap, you're not going to like it. But, it's no discreet music. It's no music for airports. Though it can be held in that family. Yeah? So, with that in mind, I'm going to give this a tentative 3.5 lumens. Oh yeah, out of 5. That's 3.5 lumens out of 5, and hopefully, I think I got away with that one. I always find these ambient reviews the scariest, because what do you talk about? It's very hard. It's very hard to talk about music. Music is hard to talk about when there aren't any words or bits that change radically, slow moving, like the glaciers. A bit like my reviews, really, aren't they? But anyway, my name's been Darren Locke. I've been moving glacially and talking about looks by a certain Mr. Brian Eno, Captain Eno. His first ambient production for a while, and it's available on Warp Records. If you get it from the Bleep store, you can download the 24-bit files if you're into super duper audio. There is an LP version of it, vinyl, 180 gram audio file version coming out in December. That's next month. I don't know whether to get that or not. Ambient music on vinyl, I don't know. Could be interesting. I've only ever really witnessed it on the old CD, if you get me drift. And that's it really. My name's been Darren Locke and I've been doing all this again. Hopefully you enjoyed my demonstration of generative or degenerative looping at the beginning of the review. And there's only one more thing to say. Are you ready? Prog on.